Groovy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Music Lab podcast. My name is Dogg, and I'm here with the band Tough on Fridays, all the way from Texas, and their manager, Eric. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure.
Hello. It is a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for having us.
So there's a lot of us, so we'll try and not talk over each other, and I'll try and do as little talking as possible. So my first question, since we saw you guys at South by, talk about your experience down there in Austin, what you like about the city. I know you were there the previous year, maybe a difference or a story about, comparisons from year over year.
Carly, you want to take that one or you want to split it?
We can split it. We could start with the fun story.
The best story, yeah.
The best story of all time. The one we'll never forget.
Yeah.
No, South by has been awesome. Both years was super, super great. The biggest key difference being that last year we got into a slight car accident entering the venue. We didn't enter the venue in our car, but right outside. Right outside.
Thank God Eric didn't do that.
Oh.
That'd be quite the entrance.
That would be grand for sure. But yeah, no, last year was really interesting as well. I think a band didn't show. And so we played like an extra long set, which was super cool. And fun for us because we got to kind of think on our feet, like we had to be like, all right, like how are we going to fill an hour and a half instead of 45 minutes, but that was really fun. And I think that was a really good experience for the band.
I think they opened up the doors and you guys jammed a Weezer for like a half an hour or something before.
For so long.
Yeah. A never-ending solo for singing.
Yeah.
So
it was
yeah, both experiences we really had to think on the fly there. This past year we had a little bit of like technical difficulties. The sound was we had like bad wires, but whenever you get to that, whenever that happens, you just have to figure out a way to adapt as a band. And honestly, I want to say that was the best we've ever what's the word? Improv. Carly did a never-ending bass riff with our song Awakening while we were all panicking, and it worked out perfectly. That was just perfect.
It was fun too because we did that for so long. The crowd was so into it that by the time the guitar started, everyone went berserk. Like they were so excited that we had guitar again, and so are we.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking, I was at that. You're talking about the Friday night showcase, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, your bass was quite needed, and it was jammy. Like people were really getting into it, as myself. So, well done. So let's talk about the songwriting process. Are you ladies more of a music first then lyrics, or is it more lyrics first then music, or does it really depend on the song? Talk to us about that.
I guess I'll take I'll say what I do and then Carly you can add on. But lately it's been more of just jotting down things that just like simple phrases that I like, and then I'll just find a little groovy guitar riff or something or a nice chord progression, and I'll take bits and pieces, and then I'll find the song meaning and stuff because I'm super stoic like that. But that's how I've been doing it lately. It kind of varies, to be honest, but yeah, that's been my process as of late. So
yeah, for me, the words has always I always have a hard time with words, so I have an easier time coming up with like riffs or like just song concepts, which is really cool getting to work with Caleigh because Caleigh comes in with like written poetry pretty much. Like her stuff is so beautiful. And she's already got like a good head on her shoulders as far as like the direction that she wants to take it. So I get to come in and kind of put sprinkles on top, which is really easy and fun.
Well, speaking of beautiful, talk about the song Daisy. Um, you don't have too many ballads on of your discography so far, but that song really spoke to me. So talk to the audience about that song in particular.
Oh, I'm honestly so glad that people are recognizing it more, because it is one of the one and only love songs that I have. Yeah, it was just a simple, cute little love story. And I really wanted to reach out to those that are also happy and in love, because I feel like I'm, always connecting with the brokenhearted. So, but yeah, Daisy I'm really glad it's getting the recognition that it deserves. I actually love the song. It's one of my favorites, I would say, off that album. So, but yeah.
Do you feel it's hard to love your songs that you write? Are you kind of your worst critic, or not?
I am.
Okay.
Absolutely. Some of the things I write about are like this last album, The Encore You Didn't Ask For. It was kind of all written out of almost anger a little bit. I was in a dark place. So like listening to the songs, it's a little, I don't want to say difficult, but it definitely takes me back to that time when I was just very angry and going through a lot of mental issues. But Daisy was the only song that I felt like I was happy writing. So that song is we always open up with it, because I feel like it really sets the mood, But yeah,
it's kind of therapy for you, isn't it?
Yes, I guess I just need to fall in love again.
And then we kind of go in a different direction with a song like Cabin Fever. That song is really what got me into you guys. Talk about that song, just the creation of that song.
Oh my gosh. To this day, that is still one of my top favorites. It's an old one, but it very much was the song that kind of redirected our sound. I always describe it as a great song to describe an anxiety attack. It's a constant buildup. And that was the whole point when writing it and doing the music for it. But we keep getting better playing that song and just making it even more intense when we play it live. And I love that so much. But yeah, that song, Cabin Fever, that's definitely one of my favorites as well. That one and Daisy go together. Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. Interesting story on Cabin Fever is it was not on the first album that they did. It just didn't fit with the other tracks at all. It's totally different. And it was the one track that we held back. They so wanted to release it. And I said, no, just hold off. And the next thing you know, we're getting a call from Archangel Records or Golden Robot in Australia saying, and that was the only song that we had to release at that point in time. So that we hung on to, and it turned out, I mean, I love this. So there's two versions of it out there. The new one is by far my favorite. I mean, it totally morphed from what it was at the beginning. It had developed over a year's period of time of playing it and hearing it. It totally developed. But that was the song that they introduced Golden Robot to. That was their first single on Golden Robot.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm glad that was a good call by Eric to hold that, because again, it really just redirected our sound, going from like a almost pop punkish sound to now, I guess what is now like an alternative post rock.
Yeah, you're almost prog in some cases on some of that material, the way it morphs from segue to segue, and Carly's bass just all over it. I mean, it's this lineup, these two are simply amazing musicians, truly amazing.
Yeah.
Well, what else is what else is cool about Cabin Fever is like it was written long before COVID happened, but because y'all held on to it and released it later during COVID, like it really resonated even harder than it would have before, which is really neat. Like you predicted it.
He's a man of many talents. Soothsaying is one of them, right?
Yep.
Yes.
This is true.
So yeah, and it's ironically enough, the song being called Cabin Fever, that's what all we dealt with for 2 years. So talk about your experience going through COVID. I mean, as a band where you can't play live, where you're, separated from each other, like, how hard was that?
Carly, what did we do during COVID?
I joined the
Nope.
band during COVID.
That entire period of just COVID, I feel like I was not present.
Yeah.
Mentally, emotionally. I don't know. I was one of the few that kind of thrived, I would say.
You were like, this is my place.
I know, I was like, this is great. But I feel like we didn't really play a lot, but I think we got together frequently and tried to do stuff. What did we do, Eric?
Carly joined the band during COVID, and
That's right.
you guys spent a lot of time just simply rehearsing and working through songs and bringing Carly in on more of the vocals, on more of the lead vocals on different songs, figuring things out, because it was different band before Carly came on board. I mean, we've been through several iterations. We did do some concerts, but I think the one that hit the papers around here, they did a concert at the local radio station and opened up the windows to social distance. We called it the Windowsill concert. I grabbed the idea from what they were doing in overseas. They were doing concerts from balconies. Well, we opened up the windows to the radio station and put speakers in the windows and played for the crowd out on the street around the square in our town. So that was otherwise. And we played to some very empty venues. I remember that as well. Fitzgerald's down in San Antonio. I mean, we were probably the only people in the place, were the musicians. And
was I there?
Yes, you were there.
I don't remember that
I have pictures of both of you on stage.
I don't remember that venue or show.
It was crazy. So anyway, but yeah, it was basically gelling. They did a lot of that over a year's period of time before they actually started playing out.
Gotcha. So let's talk about music in the future. What do we have? What do your fans, what do your audience, have to look forward to from now until the end of this year?
Well, I don't want to speak for everybody, but we're going to be playing a lot more shows down in Austin. We're trying to get into more festivals. As far as writing goes, I'm not really sure yet. That kind of takes a mental toll on me. So I'll have to play more shows and vibe with our fans. I really want to get out there and meet all of our fans. So, but yeah, we're going to put on some fun shows. It'll be a good time. What do we have, Eric? We've got Hanover's down in Pflugerville coming up April 15th. And then we have May 6th, Empire Control Room down in Austin. So
that's a great venue. I've seen a couple shows there. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
we've heard this will be our first time, so we're super excited.
And then we got invited back to House of Blues. We're playing House of Blues in Houston in June, and that's huge. Playing at a Live Nation venue, we always have a great time. Stubbs, when we played Stubbs, same experience. It's like you're going to a whole new level of playing, because they take care of you. I mean, they really, even though we're kind of low on the pecking order today, they treat you like you're royalty when you come in there. It's really amazing.
So Austin and Houston, look out. Come see us.
That's a testament to those owners too, of just their love for live music and for wanting these bands to succeed. I mean, that's the mantra of this podcast. That's all. We just want to, have our audience explore all of these bands that are, not on the radio and that are, needing an audience. So it's great to connect with you guys. And South by is such a great, way to do that, to explore, 3,000 bands.
Yeah.
And we're going to get Carly to do some writing.
Yes.
Throw a few words about here and there and get some lines in and all that good stuff.
So Carly, what's your favorite song to play live right now that's in the set list?
Play live. We recently worked up this really fun, it's almost like a medley of The Awakening off of the new album into Cabin Fever. And Chris just like rips a drum solo and then Caleigh goes ham on the guitar, and then we go into Cabin Fever, and like those two as a single item is my favorite thing to play right now. It's so fun.
Nice. Okay, sweet. And Caleigh, would you say the same thing then, or?
Yeah, I think so. What makes that special, it's only done live, so you can only catch that at a show.
Yep. Sorry.
And you know what? That's really what will separate you guys from other bands, because like you said, and we'll go back to Cabin Fever as a great example.
Mhm.
Cabin Fever as a song is just the foundation. What you guys do with it live, that's the windows, that's the doors, that's, the landscaping around it, like.
Right.
So that's.
I would actually agree with that. I feel like our dynamics has always been spot on. That's something I try to hammer home almost every single rehearsal is, Chris, shut up, or Carly, speak up. So I always want our dynamics to be right there, so.
Well, and that's a good segue. So talk about your and Carly's relationship, like from the time that you started to where you guys are at now. Like, where have you seen growth? Where does she drive you nuts? Like,
I love telling the story.
Oh God, please.
Here we go.
hey, this is all about stories,
remember-
right?
Okay, so I originally asked Carly to join the band before our last bassist, and I got a no. I got turned down.
Yeah.
It's
That's my
fine.
hard
We're
to-
past it now.
And
Carly gave me a
what
big
was your
thumbs up.
reasoning?
At the time, my life was going in a different direction, and ended up not going the way I was expecting it to, and my schedule cleared up.
Yeah, I think it was like a year and a half later. I tried again because I saw that Carly had left the band that she was in at the time. And I was like, hey, was that time or was it a different time? It might have been after that. I get them confused. But yeah, I asked her again and she was like, yeah, for sure. And I was like, here, don't tell her she's joining the band yet.
I was like, I mean, the world's locked down. I've got nothing better to do.
Yeah.
Do you remember where your first gig was, where you guys played live, your first time together?
I think our first one together was at Roots.
I think it was.
I was wearing a pink shirt and black pants.
I remember it was a really fun show, but what made it even better was after the show, I was like, man, that was like a really good show for it being like our first time playing in a long time, and like having this new band member. Carly comes up to me and she goes, are you mad at me? Did I do okay?
I spent a lot of that show like looking back at our drummer Chris, like, I don't think I know what's happening.
Clearly it was a great show.
So Carly, is this your first band then, or what bands were you in previously?
No, I was in a band right out of high school.
Okay.
We were like a garage band, local to Georgetown. Actually, it's I flip-flopped with one of the previous members of Tough on Fridays. So now she plays with them and I play with Tough on Fridays, which is kind of cool. It was a good, I have a great time now, and I had a great time then, so that's awesome. But I'm in a few other bands currently, so I just play music all the time.
Yeah. It's your passion, right?
It is, yeah.
So if you guys had like a chance to do a 60-second YouTube video for like as a real estate agent for Georgetown, what would that consist of? Like, what would you point out? Like, what should people know about Georgetown?
What should people know about Georgetown?
Well, the pizza is great. There's good pizza everywhere.
That is so true, actually. I
No,
laugh,
no.
but that's amazingly accurate. Yeah, we got 600.
We have like
There's,
two competing pizza restaurants.
Yeah,
It's a girl's dream.
it's kind of like a miniature Austin now, which is really cool. It's turning into a very young adult sort of town, I would say, which is nice. Still a lot of country and blues music down there, but you know, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that it feels like we're starting to get more like live music opportunities in Georgetown, which is neat. And I don't think it's always necessarily been that way. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that's always good. So you do have some independent venues then?
A few,
Okay.
not a huge amount,
I was
but we're
gonna say, I
getting
think it's
Yeah, not as
Roots.
many as we would like. I mean, if you still really want to get out and play, and especially Tough on Friday's musical style is way different than a lot of the other bands in the area in some respects. From the alt rock perspective, why is my screen doing that?
No, but it's
this-
not cool.
I feel like I'm Max
hell.
Headroom or something like that now.
Eric, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm upside down. Carly's on the top of my screen. There it goes.
There
I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I mean, we still have to go to Austin, really, if you want to play out. Here, there's a couple of places, but they've all there's kind of dividing lines. So anyway, it is what it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean,
So I was going to ask you both, if you had the opportunity to open for a band that is, on your bucket list or your top 3, who would it be?
Carly, you answer first. Who did you say?
Paramore and Paramore.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's so good. It's really, really good.
I was gonna say Joyce Manor, but that
Oh,
kind
But
of
then-
sort of happened.
Yeah, you
kind
did.
of, not really. And
they
Bowling
opened
for
for us.
They opened for us. That's right.
That's true.
We played an after party, but they went on before us. We played the indoor stage of Stubbs while they were outside, and we're like, Joyce Manor's opening for us.
So
we're just
of the
that special.
cities and the venues that you've played, what would you say by far is your favorite of each? I mean, city and venue.
City and venue. We have a really good time in Dallas. We've always had a big fan base in Dallas. Three Links is amazing.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's definitely one of our most fun venues. But lately, Deep Elm's been kind of weird just because it's been I know it's been changing. So Stubbs was a lot of fun. I know that's like kind of, a no-brainer, but Stubbs in Austin, amazing. And I'm super pumped for Empire Control Room. That's going to be a huge show with a huge lineup. So that'll probably be our new favorite venue. Yes, we'll see.
And how about you, Carly? Same. You would answer the same?
Yeah, I really like Three Links. I also really enjoyed playing at Valhalla. Was that Riverside?
No,
Mhm.
Valhalla's over off Red River.
Red River.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
played with the Dead Coats and Lady Fang.
That was really fun. Ooh, and Far Out Lounge was also really fun.
Okay, I remember Far Out. I have no idea where Valhalla is. I do
That's
not
one
remember.
that has that pizza parlor on top. If there's pizza, I'm excited about it.
Again, I was present for the show. I do not remember.
Yes, you were.
I think I just black out during these shows, to be honest.
We don't endorse substance abuse at all here.
No.
Oh my. Well, ladies and Eric, this has been a blast. Thank you all so much for doing this and spending your Saturday afternoon with me. Happy Easter to all of you. Any big plans for tomorrow?
We're having an Egg Olympics.
Egg Olympics?
Yep. I don't know what that
Is that where you
means, but I know my mom spray painted a football pink. So that's
That
happening.
is sick.
Okay. How about you?
actually, I think just having dinner.
Yeah.
That's usually the most we get into Easter. What about you? What are you doing for Easter?
What am I doing? We are going to my girlfriend's parents for like lunch, dinner, and then my kids we're doing something with them in the evening, and then probably gonna, hang a little late night, hang out with some friends,
Oh, that's fun.
friends Easter, whatever you call that,
Yeah, a freester.
a freester.
Freester. It's a new word.
You just
Write it
created
down, Caleigh. It could be in a song.
That's a new
Yeah, I'll
kind
jot
of
that
song.
down.
Well, thank you all so much. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Much love and much success to all of you, and hopefully get to see you on the road again.
Yes,
We're working
sir.
on- we're
We'll be
working on
here.
it
Thank
really
you for
hard.
having us.
Yeah, Northeast tour would be great.
And you guys, we gotta say happy birthday to Eric before we get off of here. It's his birthday.
Happy birthday
Hey,
to you. Happy birthday to you. Eric, how old are
Thank
you?
you. I am
47?
I am 66 today. And I get to manage at 66 the most awesome band on the planet.
You're the
Dream
speed
come-
limit.
Dream come
right?
true. Dream come
No,
true.
that's not the joke.
What's up?
On that note, you can't beat
Nope,
that.
nope. Let's just keep going.
Moving right along. Going nowhere and getting there fast.
Yep.
On that note, thank you guys so much. This has been the Music Lab podcast. I'm your host, Dogg. This has been Tough on Fridays. Happy Easter, everybody.